All right, and we're live. Welcome, everybody. This is Len. I am one half of the Potter's Pickers, and I wanted to make a video today because someone left a comment on my video about how to package things for shipment and asked the question, how do you know that you're charging the right amount for shipping? So that's what I want to make this video about, is to ensure that you're not undercharging your customers and having to cut into your own profit margins when it comes to shipping. Because if you do it wrong, you cannot go back to your customer and ask for more money. That'll get you on the quick road to negative feedback. So hopefully what this video is going to help you to do is to ensure that you are shipping properly, that you're charging properly, that you're charging the right amount to make sure that you are that you're not cutting into your own profit margin. So let me start with the best advice that I can give you. Get a good digital scale. I want to show you mine. This is an Accutech, and what's nice about this is that it has a little the display is on a cord. So if I have an oversized box, like for example, I have lamps that I have listed, I have some big items that I've shipped before and cover the whole scale. And so this is really nice because then the display isn't hidden. And plus, if I have something that's kind of awkward in shape or size, I can lift these up. And so this on eBay cost me $16. So it is well worth your investment. And if you're running an eBay business, that's a write-off. That's a business expense. So definitely get yourself a good scale. I cannot express that enough. Don't guess. Don't guess on weight because you're going to guess wrong. Because you don't want to overcharge your customers either. Now, the good thing about overcharging is that if you do it, you can refund your customer. Hey, I apologize, I overcharged you, and refunded on PayPal. That's going to make your customer really happy. So here's the thing. I want to give you an example of what to ship, of how to ship certain items. And the first example that I'll give you is video games. Video games quite typically are going to run in the 5 to 12 ounce range at the very, very high end, 5 to 12 ounces. Every video game is a little different in terms of how it is. Now, vintage video games like Super Nintendo, Atari, and television, etc., they will have a, if you have the box for them, if you're lucky to get the box for them, which really increases their value, you have to package those differently. These ones, because they're in a nice heavy jewel case, you can comfortably put these in a bubble mailer, and maybe not even a bubble mailer. I always use bubble mailers because it instills confidence in the buyer. I'm firmly convinced of that. So I'm going to put these in a bubble mailer, weigh it. It's going to come at 6 ounces, and I'm going to ship this first class. First class is going to be probably under $3 coast to coast. And you can do anything under 13 ounces as first class mail. You cannot use media mail for these. May be very sure that you do not send these media mail. Other things that you might ship first class are like sewing patterns and things like that, which very lightweight. Throw it in a padded envelope, shoot it out, and you're gonna spend about $3. So what you want to do, what I do when I'm taking photos, I have my scale right next to me. So I shoot all my pictures, and the last picture I take is the measurement on the scale. So I know what it weighs. When I come back to do the listing, I know exactly what it weighs. Now, for example, with a video game, a bubble mailer is going to add less than an ounce. So if it's a 5 ounce video game, you weigh it, it's 5 ounces, just do it as 10. You're going to be fine. It's not going to change the shipping amount that much. But what do we do, for example, with, let's take a look at this Dunder Mifflin coffee mug. This Dunder Mifflin coffee mug, I'll turn on the scale here. Little different here because here we have a fragile item, okay? So I'm gonna weigh this, and it weighs 13.2 ounces. You guys going? Bye. Love you guys. I'll see you later. Bye. Kids are going to the chiropractor. So here I have that cup with 13.2 ounces. Okay. So okay, how do I ship this? How do I figure for proper weight? Because obviously there's going to be packing material involved here and a box, right? So I'm going to take this mug and I'm going to measure it. And basically what I'm going to do with anything that's fragile, I'm going to double its size. So if this mug is 6 inches high by 6 inches wide, it's going in a 12 by 12 box. The weight, I'm going to double it. So 13.2 ounces, I'm just going to say 2 pounds. 16 ounces in a pound. This is going to be a 2-ounce package. Now, here is my priority mailbox. If I put the 2 of them on here, now this is another thing you can do to help get yourself closer. We haven't yet accounted for packing material or void fill or anything. But here we're looking at we're at 1 pound, 1.4 ounces. So 1 pound, 2 ounces. You always round up. You can't go fractions of an ounce. So you always round up. So that's the other thing is, what am I going to use for void fill? Are you going to use bubble wrap? Are you going to use something like this? Like the big void fill, the big bubbles? All of those things matter, okay? So that's going to help to account for the volume of the box. But here's something that has generally worked for us in our business, is that if it's fragile, we automatically double the weight. If it's like a coffee mug or something like that, we just automatically double it, and we're always right in the in the space where we need to be. With clothes and things like that, those things are going into a poly mailer. A pair of jeans, a jacket, a shirt, that's going into a poly mailer, adds almost no weight to it. But the important thing is to weigh the object first. And then you go in and you do calculated shipping, and you can put in your size. Now this box, for example, is a 7 by 7 by 6. It says right on here. So I know that these two are going together. I can put that in for my size. But let's say, for example, let me show you this that I have. This juicer, this is kind of an awkward, right? Kind of an awkward size and shape and everything. So I'm going to have to do more to just secure these together. Maybe I won't even have the cup part of it underneath, but this is going to go in a bigger box. This is something I'm definitely going to say, okay, let's say this is 15 inches high, which looks about right. So I'm going to say this is going to go in like a 20 by 12 by 8 or 20 by 12 by 10 kind of a box. And my weight here on this item is 3 pounds, 6 ounces. But look, this is like steel, right? This is metal. Here's the problem. This stuff breaks in shipping too. You have to package this. A lot of people don't realize a lot of times like cast iron can be pretty fragile, especially the way the USPS and UPS handle their packages, okay? I've said this in a past video. Package in such a way that you are comfortable throwing your item across the room, because that's how it's going to be handled. If you're not comfortable doing that, it ain't ready for shipment. So with this, I'm gonna count for something a little bigger. It's 3.63 ounces. Now to double the weight here, you got to use a little sense, right? This isn't going to end up weighing 7 pounds. It's just not. By the time I get it all shipped, it's probably going to be about 4.5 pounds. But this is just one of those things where experience comes in. And don't be afraid to package something and weigh it. Like, you want to be professional. You want to make sure that the proper shipping is charged. So, and you want to get to that top rated seller status, right? So you have to be a good shipper. You just have to. You can't have things end up broken or even like questionable. You know, the last thing you want is someone getting a package. For example, I know there's people who put coffee mugs in bubble mailers. They'll wrap the heck out of it and put them in bubble mailers, and it works. It gets there. But what it is, what kind of confidence are you instilling in your buyer? If, you know, when it shows up in one piece, they probably feel like it's pretty lucky to have arrived that way. So instill confidence in your buyers by shipping properly, right? Packaging properly. And so this gets down to then shipping methods. What kind of a shipping method do you want? Now, here's my philosophy, and I can get away with this now because I'm a top-rated seller and I get shipping discounts. That's one of the main goals. One of the main reasons you want to get to top-rated seller status is to get shipping discounts. And now we don't pocket that extra money. Here's what I do. There's different shipping options that you have when you're shipping, when you're setting up your listing. You can choose first class, priority, parcel select, standard post, overnight, things like that. Now, priority is your most expensive, quite typically. That's not an overnight kind of service. And the standard post and parcel select are more your economy services. So here's what I do. Priority is typically going to be 50% more than your economy shipping. So I choose economy shipping, right? But when I go to priority mail, most of my items, I get such a substantial discount now, up to 40%, that I can still ship priority, having only charged the customer for an economy shipping. And then I'm not pocketing any money. They think they're getting the item in 2 to 9 days, which is the promise of economy shipping. That it'll be there between 2 and 9 days, kind of, you know, at their leisure. Or priority, it's 2 to 3 days guaranteed. So customers are very happy when they're expecting a package in like a week and it shows up in 2 days. So again, we get a lot of feedback. Typically, you're lucky to get 25 to 35% of your customers leave feedback. We get about 50% of our customers who leave us positive feedback because they're getting their items fast, like, wow, quick shipping. And so when we make our listing, the very first line on all of our listings for the description is check our feedback. We ship quickly and package securely. And that's what all of our feedback talks about: well packaged, quick shipping, et cetera, et cetera. But on a very practical level, you're much better overestimating your shipping than underestimating. Some things you want to consider too is when you're choosing your shipping method, when you're setting up your listing, choosing the shipping method, if you choose priority as an option, that could turn customers away who don't want to pay that 40 or 50% more in shipping. So like, for example, this coffee mug is probably going to be like a $5 or $6 mug, right? It's just a very plain Hyatt Regency hotel coffee mug. Vintage, cool, but it's still only like a $6 mug. Someone's not going to want to pay $8 or $9 to ship that priority. So I set it up as a parcel select, and that shipping cost is more now, like $5.50. But with my shipping discount, I can send it priority and get it there quicker. You can't do that until you're a top-rated seller. So don't set it up that way thinking that's how you're going to do it. The benefit of using priority is that you have the boxes already. So that makes it very simple to figure what your box sizes are. Now, in doubling my box size, like this is a 15 by 8 by 6, this juicer that I have right here. So if I say that it is 30 by 16 by 12, I know that no box I put it in will be that big. In fact, I'm probably only going to need to increase the size by about 50%, right? So to make sure that it gets there safely and that I have enough void fill to secure it inside of the package. But now I know that there's no chance that I've undercharged my customer. So those are just some principles to get you started until you start to ship some stuff and get things kind of rolling here. Now, the other thing you want to consider is books. Books sell really well. They're our #2 category. I don't know why people use Amazon when they charge you so much to sell books. We sell a lot of books on eBay, and books can go media mail. So that's awesome. Media mail is super dirt cheap. It's not that fast. It's an economy service. So again, that's a 2 to 9 day kind of a delivery. And most of your books can go into a bubble mailer or a poly mailer of some kind. Just be careful. I like to do bubble mailers to protect the corners. I like to take pieces of scrap cardboard and bend them to protect the corners of the cover. So again, just something that's going to help instill confidence in the buyer, and so that they're not getting a book that has the corners all mashed because the post office didn't handle it properly. So just some thoughts for you as you continue in your eBay adventure on how to set up your shipping. Please leave comments below if you have any questions. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Share it if you know other people who could benefit from it. And take care. Thank you guys so much for watching. Goodbye.